Hi guys! So with AP testing around the corner, I'm sure that you guys are starting to think about preparing for your exams. I am taking my last set of AP tests ever, so I thought I would share with you some of the tips that I have acquired over the years that have helped me score well in my exams. Perhaps the most significant tip that you can apply is to start early. You don't want to start preparing the week before the exam, and you are definitely not going to be able to score as well as you could if you try to cram the night before. For me, midway into February has been the sweet spot. I will usually start out easy with maybe one chapter of prep each week and taper up until the AP test. But depending on the rigor of your course, you want to start at least a month before the exam. I recommend using monthly spreads to organize your study schedule, whether that's in the form of a planner or a printed layout like the one seen here, which I will have linked down below. I like using sticky notes to plan out what I need to accomplish that week to allow for more flexibility. So if I don't get to what I had planned to study, then I can carry it over to another week. My next tip is to get to know the test.
I gotta lick the model! I gotta be the model!
You're going to want to understand the score breakdowns. Of course, AP tests are graded on a curve, so your score will depend on how well others do that year, but for the most part, the breakdown is usually the same year to year. Figure out how much each section is worth, and how well you need to score on each in order to earn the score you want. Maybe the multiple choice section is worth 40% of your total score, and the free response section is worth 60%. So in that case, you'd want to spend more time practicing the FRQs. Familiarize yourself with the directions, that way you won't waste time doing so during the test. And also consider how much time you will have for each section. Which topics are most prevalent? If it's one of those math exams, will you be permitted to use a graphing calculator? You're also going to want to consider what important concepts or themes you'll be tested on. For instance, the US history test is categorized into 7 different themes and 9 different time periods. So as you are studying, try to categorize that material into one or more of those themes. That way, you'll have a greater understanding of the relevancy of the material. So now onto the material. Try to create review material throughout the year so that you don't have to scramble when you begin your test prep. For math courses, I highly recommend creating a study sheet before your in-class exams for each unit. For your history and science classes, you learn too much material to try to consolidate it all into one sheet for each unit. You'd basically be rewriting your notes at that point. So I recommend creating diagrams or tables and leaving blank spaces that you can fill in later. Along with little free response questions with a hidden list of all the relevant facts or events so that later on you can sit and ask yourself to explain an event or topic integrating some of these ideas. You can also find material online such as crash course videos on a topic or practice tests. And oftentimes, the exam that the previous class took is posted online. I will link some resources down below so that you can check those out. I absolutely swear by prep books. They typically come with a couple of practice exams, detailed analysis for answer choices, and testing strategies. You can pick them up on Amazon, or your local school or library might have some. As long as the College Board hasn't changed the test, you don't have to use the most up-to-date version, and they usually run around $12. Read the reviews before you buy though to see what other students have said about the book. As you're studying throughout the year, try to keep the AP test in mind. Don't allow yourself to finish a section or unit without a sophisticated understanding of the topic, and when you're studying, keep the test in mind. Keep in mind that you might have to explain this system in an FRQ. I also recommend having a dedicated day or time that you have resolved to study for your exam. Consistency is key here. Maybe on Tuesdays for an hour you read one chapter from your prep book and answer the quiz at the end. Try to take as many full-length practice exams as you can. At the very least, take one full-length practice exam so that you can get used to the extended period of concentration and so that you will get a better feel for how much time you need for each section. And don't forget to go over your incorrect answers. I often make trivial mistakes during the first few practice exams, but by the time the AP test rolls around, I've eliminated all those errors. It's better to learn from those mistakes now. So for the day of the exam, this is when you employ your pre-test rituals. Last year I tried to use scents to trigger memory. I wore the same caramel scented perfume when I did my exam prep. I'm not sure if it helped, but it sure was comforting. Don't forget to bring your pencils, pens, and make sure your calculator batteries are good. You can also pre-program formulas into your calculator. For the TI-84 Plus, you push Program, slide over to New, and then you can use alpha keys to literally enter paragraphs of information. I want to leave you guys with this quote so that hopefully you have this mindset as you guys are studying for your exams. The quote is apparently from Albert Einstein, but it goes like this: if you can't explain it simply, then you don't know it well enough. This mindset is the difference between a 3 and the 4s and 5s. If you want those scores, you have to drill down the material enough and develop your skills enough so that you can feel confident on test day. By then, you should be a completely independent information machine. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, it would mean a lot to me if you gave this video a like, and I wish you the best of luck on your exams.